Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to an episode of Total War Arena. So, a little bit different on our video today. We're going to be taking a look at basically different unit combinations and why I tend not to like them as a general rule, and why in most of my videos, or almost all my videos, you always see me just playing with one specific unit. So just to clarify what I mean by unit combinations is, so for example, what I'm just going to be using today is 2 units of Roman medium infantry, and I'm also taking 1 unit of javelins. It's just one possible combination with the Romans. You could have 2 Greek hoplites and a slinger, or 2 slingers and 1 Greek hoplite, or 2 units of Carthaginian infantry and an elephant, or 2 units of infantry and a cavalry. Although taking cavalry with infantry is one that I think is really bad. But yeah, so it's using different unit types together with one commander. So traditionally, I much prefer to take, say, all 3 as Roman infantry or all 3 as javelins, because I feel I can micromanage and deal with the strengths and weaknesses of a specific unit if everyone is together. And I think by adding in different variabilities, like two Romans and a javelin, then not only are you mixing commanders with abilities that don't necessarily work quite so well, i.e. taking javelins with, say, a Germanicus isn't necessarily the best combination. Arguably, I could take this whole lot with Sulla, but I'm just trying to prove a point. So that's why we're doing that. So I think that doesn't work very well. Combined with the fact that trying to micromanage 2 lots of Roman infantry in a heavy infantry fight and then keep javelins safe out the way and actually get them to contribute is harder than just having an extra unit of Roman infantry. That's kind of been my experience with them and kind of my feelings. But we shall see. Maybe we can start to get it to work a little better in this one. So the only conceivable benefits, well, there are benefits to this. A couple of them are: 1, you get a bonus to, you get 30% bonus because you have varied units in your squad. So the game actively tries to encourage you to do this. Another bonuses are, say, you know, obviously having access to javelins in, you know, a ranged unit in a fight like this could be really quite useful. If I can get into such a position where I can block up a pass or something with my 2 units, so I'm not getting massively outflanked or anything like that. Having access to those javelins could be a real sort of influential in the fight, particularly if it turns into quite sort of a stalemate heavy infantry fight. So that could be really quite critical. On top of that, you know, say if I'd brought an elephant with the Carthaginians, elephants can be a really dominant force, so having one of them on hand and available to you, rather than relying or waiting for allies to come with, you know, elephant support or range support, could be really quite good. So certainly got some interesting possibilities with it. But anyway, let's hop into a battle with these guys and just sort of see how we get on, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in the actual battle. So, we are loading into Oasis with our Roman infantry and our javelin. I'm probably going to loiter around on the wings, I think, of this fight. We could come down here more towards the centre. It depends kind of what the rest of our team is. Let's have a look at our makeup. 1 infantry, 2 infantry. Not a tremendous amount of infantry. I'm the only heavy in the game. Quite a bit of cavalry, ranged. Quite a lot of support units in this game, so it could be kind of interesting. This is sort of what I mean, kind of the problems, you know, this is, I'd rather give it a make-up now.
Capture the enemy base, or kill all enemy forces.
Because I think the sort of requirement for support units is going to be quite high. Let's also spread our units out, so we've got a little bit of a wider formation. And let's initially move up to this step. Looks like we have got some of the Edrita swords going up there. The heavy Romans are going straight to centre. And we've got some cavalry doing some nice scouting, so that's pretty helpful. We've got some light artillery up there. Well, that's enough to put me going off that way straight away, because obviously I do not want to be running into 3 units of enemy light artillery, because they'll just absolutely cut me down so quickly. It'll be pretty brutal. Oh, some Italian nobles loitering around there. So far nothing coming down this way, but we're not really got a lot of visibility until we clear this top step. Obviously it works better having...
Javelins!
It's getting hard. I'm getting used to the micromanagement of all this, and we're now going to get shot at. Let's go shields up.
Shields up!
Okay, pull back.
Swordsman!
Go there. Great.
Tortoise!
Form up.
Javelins!
I have to hide my javelins perhaps a little bit round the corner.
Double time! We're under attack!
Shot in the back. That's good.
Swordsman!
Okay, so those guys there are safe at least because they're in Testudo. We've got these Insubrious swordsmen.
Swordsman!
Dubious.
Leave no survivors!
They're charging.
Swordsman!
Well.
We're
Bring
under
up
attack!
our javelins. Attack.
Behold
Straight for a step.
the wrath
They
of
actually
Rome!
accidentally pulled themselves through a little bit too much. Let's push up hard with our javelins. Nothing I can do but just fight this fight I've got in the centre.
Swordsman!
Getting on the side. We might actually be able to hit some of these range units, to be honest. It'd be good. You see with our race shields, we're not doing too badly here. Oops. Oh, don't run in, stop. Javelin throwing on the end. So now I'm in this heavy infantry fight. You see, I'm trying to now micromanage the sort of two things I've got going on at once. She's being shot at by archers, trying to deal with a heavy infantry fight. And try and win the heavy infantry fight and deal with all the range stuff going on. So I've got my units going wide with their shots.
Cut them down!
These super swordsmen at the back. So not really friendly fire to myself or anything. I hope. Let's try and push up again. If they're going to pull out, that's perfect for me.
Hannibal Barca is slain! Slay them!
Keep those guys in the fight.
Swordsman!
Not you though.
Double
Not you
time!
in the fight. You keep out here. Keep wide. More centurions coming at the back. They've still got their raised shield up there. They haven't.
We're firing on our allies!
Stab.
Javelins!
Bring these guys back out. Back of them. We've got our guys here still testudoed, still in with their vengeance, but things are getting increasingly difficult for us to really get penned in. I'm trying to get some extra damage with my javelins, but it's hard to really apply that much damage in this sort of fight. I keep accidentally clicking on this unit, which is really annoying. Trying to micromanage these two.
Rip them apart!
Having a lot of look back damaging against these guys. We are slowly racking up a little bit of damage with our javelins, though. It's not all lots. So they are doing a reasonable effort. Pulling off our range shields so we get a little bit more hits there. We'll pull out because we're going to get charged by these Roman infantry. I'll make it through this gap. Oh, this is going to be difficult here. Will we clear this gap? Because our guys here are pretty dead, even against these. All these enemy spin. They're really not having a lot of negative effects from the fatigue, really, by the looks of it, which is a bit of a shame. Very close to, dangerously close to getting probably hit by a heavy infantry charge and gain a bit of ground for our allied units.
Quick
Dashes,
march!
try and get ourselves out of that. What's left of our little units here are not looking particularly positive. I think we're going to be routing them. Having a really hard time against the Sacred Band. I was kind of surprised. I would have thought we'd have had a bit more luck against them than we did. There we go, it's kind of the way it goes. We got a fair chunk of aggression off early on, and obviously we're getting extra support points by having to walk javelins along as well. Not all bad. But I mean, as you kind of see, I struggle. I mean, if you watch me, you know I struggle at the best of times with my micromanagement. Never mind when you start introducing sort of extra things to deal with, like, infantry in a fight as well. It makes it really hard for me to deal with that sort of stuff. And while these javelins are great, a harassing tool in this sort of situation, I just don't feel it's sufficient improvement. I would rather just have the unit infantry. These guys have lost their vengeance. Keeping most of the damage in this sort of situation.
Focus your fire!
Focus fire if we can.
Slay them!
And then just keep pursuing them and harassing them. Let's see any unit we've got left alive. Our poor infantry are dead. So let's just try and rack up a little bit extra damage with our javelins if we keep harassing people. It's really quite a close game. But yeah, I just feel that I would have been better off having 3 units of infantry. I would have been able to have an extra unit available to flank some of those spears rather than getting sort of caught up in the middle. And then being able to present a wider front against those Insubri swordsmen. I just feel it would have given me a better combination of options than what I got with my sort of situation as it was.
Quick march!
The Round are doing quite a nice job of harassing these poor centurions. Although those archers are going to get caught out if they're not careful. They just got away with that by the skin of the teeth.
Destroy!
I suppose these guys haven't gone back into some sort of...
Run!
Not friendly fire. Some just gone back into some sort of testudo mode because they could have blocked a lot of their damage there.
Quick march!
Is that some enemy cavalry coming up this slump here? Yes, it is some Italian nobles. I think I'm small enough to not be an immediate threat, I don't think. I'm just going to go with the archers, I'll certainly just throw volley. See him? Oops, my bad. Friendly fire. Let's have a look what we've got. See if we can get into such a position to get a bit of a flanking shot of these Romans, which damage our allies.
Quick march!
Because I think shooting him now. Okay, go in there. Whether they're just going to go for me now, I'm still a bit too close. I'll stop myself just in case. Didn't look like they actually are going to go for us. Okay, well, we'll keep chasing after these Italian nobles then. Looks like they're trying to chase down our archers because they're a larger unit, mostly, I suspect. Go on, could be a little shot. Bit of damage. Oh, one hit. Damn. Not quite what I had in mind. So these guys are still fully fighting the shades. That's not really going to work out. We can try and get behind them though, or if they're going to turn it back to me. That's a nice little target. And they just turned fighting the shade off, I think. No, they just back to me. Some nice shots into the back of them there. They say even a limited amount of javelins does do provide quite a lot of damage potential.
Run!
This far, more friendly fire. It's a really close match actually, this one. Really, even with our little bit of javelins, we can sort of make quite a key contribution to some of this stuff here, I think. Keep getting shots on those enemy Romans without causing too much friendly fire. They're a really tough unit to break those enemy Roman cavalry. Around a little bit back, a little bit back, a little bit back behind these guys here. Got in the back, point blank range. Did 1,000 damage, not to be sniffed at, not to be sniffed at. Let's keep the damage up, because we're getting in shots now without causing too much friendly fire. I'm surprised we've not picked up the attention of the light artillery yet. I suspect we might do shortly. We're starting to decimate some of these hoplites now, which is nice. How much friendly units have we got here?
Leonidas
Friendly damage. A little bit there, look. Want to be careful with that. Looks like they're going to rout though. Nice job. So that's the enemy hoplites dealt with. He's literally neck and neck. Have we got anyone going off with this light artillery? Yes, we have. Our cavalry, are you hero? Assuming that's friendly, it is. Okay, let's get down here. Get our dash on. Maybe this is one of the benefits of unit combinations where, you know, you often end up losing your units early on with heavy infantry because you invariably get stuck into that sort of big pitched fight. And by keeping a unit like this left alive, it does give you a certain degree of options in terms of, you know, keeping into the fight into the later game.
Quick march!
Dash down here, dash down here, dash down here. We've still got a heavy infantry charger who's keep getting to use this. Give us a good little bit of dash there. Try and get in. Let's get some more shots on the enemy scorpions. Are really tipping the battle now. We're killing those guys. And it's really only these enemy Italian nobles are the only threatening thing left for us. So I think it should be okay, to be honest. Do we risk a volley? Is this going to cause friendly fire too much? Let's see. Yeah, these guys though, where they're more fighting enemy slings, probably are worth a volley.
Stop!
Other than that, I think we'll just die. Can we get a charge impact? We can get a bit of charge impact with javelin men. So let's just get stuck into some hand and we can get any damage. Yes, 12. We've lost 186. Okay, not going quite so well. But easily won this fight now. The enemy cavalry dead, and these guys just sort of caught into a bit of hand-to-hand combat now. They're better off just getting stuck into hand-to-hand themselves. And there we go, victory. We have won that one. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. Certainly it got a little bit intense on some of the micromanagement at the start of that fight, I think. But hopefully, that's, I didn't even know what we did score-wise. Hopefully not too bad. Okay, we got a bit of aggression in. Certainly got stuck into with all those Insubri swords. Obviously a pretty tough unit to fight against, even with Roman infantry. You know, they were a higher tier than me. Obviously, their ad portus is pretty great as an ability as well. You know, pretty comparable to Vengeance. So maybe getting stuck into them early on was kind of a bit much. And obviously, it did kind of mean it was I had a bit of a hard time micromanaging my javelins as well at the same time, trying to deal with the archers and the infantry fight. So yeah, it was a bit intense. So let's plop in for another game and see how we get on for second time.
I will do what must.
So we are loading into the next battle. It's going to go roughly somewhere in the centre again, similar sort of layout. What have we got in our team? Probably a little bit more in the terms of, well, I say that. Probably cavalry though. Cavalry. Elephants here we've got to watch out for. Of course our javelins will be effective against enemy elephants, although we've only got one unit to bring to bear. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean, like every time when I talk about this. So yeah, we
capture the enemy
okay,
base,
we've got a unit
or
of javelins,
kill all enemy forces.
But just not as good as if I had 3 javelins. I mean, that's... If I was playing javelins, I would be specifically looking to counter enemy elephants. Yet it's not going to be quite as effective now with 1 unit of javelins. Yeah, it will counter the elephants, but it's not going to be super effective, to be honest, is it? And that's just kind of my general feeling with these guys. It's just always a little bit worse than, you know, the alternative combination. It's kind of like the taking 1 or 2 archers things. Then you encounter some other archers, and of course you lose because they've got 3 archers. I just feel like
the enemy has drawn
it's kind of the jack of all trades but master of none sort of thing, and that's kind of why I tend to not be a fan of sort of these joint combinations. So, all my moaning aside, what have we got? Just an absolute ton of enemy cavalry everywhere. No one's really doing anything yet. I'm just sort of waiting here, playing it a bit safe. Looks like we've got some artillery setting up, some spears pushing up there. Obviously, they've made a bit of an error getting stuck into that fight there. Far too early. Get out, get out, get out. Those Italian nobles have thrown their lives away. Just escape. Stop the cavalry charge. Okay. So we've got stuff going on in the forest. look at pushing down maybe into this fight down here against just a cavalry melee. These elephants are a worry, even after we just talked about it. Some of our archers are able to get shots in, which is good. Let's see where's our javelins. Start to at least push up and get some early shots on these enemy elephants. Even if we're not going to have much to do about it, we're going to have to pull back again probably pretty early on after some of the initial volleys.
Place the cow traps!
Slow down in. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Pull back our commander unit as well. Fight one unit against these guys to try and get our javelins back. Oh, they got a really painful charge against us with those elephants.
Swordsman! Destroy!
Back. Trying to get this unit out to some sort of cover. The enemy elephants are just directly after my javelin unit. Good or better or worse, I don't know what you make of that, whether it's a good thing or not. Trying to get out before Stomp has too much of an effect.
Run!
These guys have to get a vengeance against these guys. They're going to have a really tough time against these elephants. This is the sort of situation I'd be much better off with, a proper amount of javelins. Volleying on that elephant. Try and get one of these guys down before they slaughter me all. But I mean, I can't really get my unit away from it because I'm slow, obviously, without being slow elephants.
Double take! The fallen eagles are back!
Should then. Let's see.
Attack!
They look like they're going to try to make it. I might just make a stand here to be at least I can get shots on this enemy elephants. Try to. Come on, guys. Why are you standing there like bloody lemons?
Quick!
Get out the way, get some shots in on these elephants. Start trying to get some kills. Hopefully, not doing a particularly good job either here. There we go. Come on, that's a bit better. I'll get some hits in. Right, pull the javelins out. Struth, we're having a bit of a rum old time of this, aren't we? Okay, right, that's him dead. Onwards, 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 onwards. Not you. Anyone but you.
Let Bellona lead your blades!
Right, you get out. Enemy infantry. Run away.
Apace!
When you fools. Struth almighty. We're having a tough old time. And that's what I mean when I say I just don't. Just fight it.
We're under attack!
Being chased by the bloody Milty Spearmen. Can you just sod off? We should be able to beat these guys in this sort of fight. I would start to get my heavy FG, my stabs in, I'll start to do this properly. Got these javelins in, we'll be able to still get shots on the end of them, but we've only got a handful of people left alive. Be obliterated by the enemy. Cavalry, let's try and run behind here so if we can bait this cavalry into doing something stupid. Try and keep the vengeance on, try and keep the vengeance on. Come on, just tipped off, you bastard. Okay, let's try and pull back. Some safety maybe? Right. How's the fight going against this Hoplite phalanx? It's not exactly what could be described as well. Our javelins are now fully dead. They've kind of got caught in amongst us a little bit too much. So let's try and cut them down if we can. These Roman infantry are still pretty solid units, as we know.
Destroy them!
Some sense of aggression damage. But we're now pretty much on the back foot. And yeah, so all in all, I think this kind of sums up my experience with multiple units. I think it probably, if you're a good player, can it work well? Probably absolutely brilliant. But for sort of a fairly mediocre player like me, I think you're adding in extra choices and combinations that I can't really deal with at the best of times, and it's just too much for me.
Our base is under attack! Destroy!
Ah, dear. So yes, that's why I am not a fan.
Swordsman! Cowards! The men are routing!
51 hit points, and there goes
Death has come!
And there goes the rest of our units. Looks like this battle's going to be against us. Yeah, I mean, in part, it wasn't great that we had all those enemy elephants go for us, but I would have much rather had 3 units of javelins. I could have kited him rather than just being focused down on that one unit. He could put all his elephants into targeting that one unit of javelins, and then what could I do to escape against that? Our javelins are slower than his elephants. Nothing I could really do, and the infantry didn't do a particularly great job of cutting them down.
Rome must not be defeated!
Yeah, really quite a tough sort of situation we put into. All these guys are kind of pinned into a corner, being assaulted from left, right, and centre.
Our base is captured!
And there we go, we've got Patch dead. So yeah, so not exactly the most fantastic 2 games that we've ever had. At least we managed to win one of them. Yeah. So hopefully, even if I'm not necessarily right in my assertions, that at least you now understand kind of why I personally dislike multi-unit combinations. I think I think it's hard enough doing it like this. And then some people even go as crazy as to take cavalry with like, you know, going out like a unit of cavalry with it. And I just think that's absolutely madness. I mean, I can't deal with two different units that are at least the same speed. Never mind if you're going to start introducing cavalry and things into the combination like that. I mean, cavalry fights are really hard and require a lot of focus. So I don't see how you can possibly do infantry and cavalry together. The only way you'd be able to do that would just be to leave your infantry at the back of the game and take one unit of cavalry out. But in which case, then your infantry aren't stuck into the fight, and you're being a massive detriment to your team because your infantry are late to the battle. You know, there's no point if you're going to arrive after the battle's already won with the infantry, then there's no point. So I really can't see, unless you're a true micromanagement god, then I can't see how you're going to be able to manage cavalry and infantry. The only maybe exception was if you were teaming up with the party and they took artillery, you could take one unit of infantry and 2 cavalry, say, so you could leave some infantry back, 1 unit of infantry back defending the artillery, and then 2 units of cavalry just to play with. But it's truth, infantry and cavalry combinations are really hard. So yeah, that's kind of my sum up really of what I've felt about this so far. It just requires too much micromanagement for it to be effective. I feel you're better off with 3 of the same unit choices. Anyway, hopefully that sort of very random and poorly edited and poorly constructed video at least makes some sort of sense as to my feeling on the matter. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, let me know what you think about the ideas of it in the comment down below. Maybe you get on with it a lot better than me. I'm just struggling kind of with the micromanagement side of things. But anyway, I shall see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I shall see you next time.